Definitely not. It's a wall. Someone's built a wall to basically close off this neck of land.
Yeah.
Or somehow restrict access across it to the little rock stack. And it's actually not the only one. There's one that also runs across the middle.
Ah, yeah, I see it, yeah.
And then there's another little one just at the narrowest point. So we've got one here running across.
Yeah, I see that.
And then one just beyond us there where the path rises up. So somebody's gone to a lot of effort to control who came on and maybe off this little rock stack.
Yeah, so it's really quite a strongly fortified site, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's a wall that comes around, it's built around the edge of the rock stack, certainly on this side. You can see the stones just at the top of the cliff there.
Yeah, but at the far side, at the far end,
Probably part of that wall's fallen into the sea. We've lost some of it already. But it's a bit of it's quite well preserved at the end there.
Yeah.
Just so with the sun catching it.
Yep. Okay, let's make our way in.
So we've got one building on this rock stack here and another one just over to our right. I'll show you. This one stretches as far down as that trench. We've got the end wall of it coming round in the far trench. And then this near trench, we've got this, might be an entrance into it, with these great big upright stones, a bit of a wall coming round just in front of us. So we've only really just started here, and already it's gone down quite a way. Quite surprised at the depth of the soil. And a lot of that's probably collapsed from, took quite a lot of stones out of this near trench.
Yes.
And they're all sitting in a big thick deposit of dark brown sand, very humic stuff, which is probably from the turf walls or roof that's collapsed in with the stones, or over the stones actually. So stones have fallen off the wall, then the turf walls have collapsed over them.
Yep. So are you actually down at floor level yet, or?
I think we've just at the end of today started exposing it just in the corner there by the big upright pink stone. Just so we can see it's a bit darker.
Yes,
stone set in
see
it.
that.
That's a floor level coming through, and we've got it in the far trench there, or similar sort of layer. So clean down to that across the whole trench in the morning. And I'd like to have a look at what's going on in here too, because we've got
it seems to be a curve, almost a curve there.
Around here. We'll see how time goes.
Yep. So no indication yet as to what the building's been used for.
No,
or dating.
No, unfortunately not. But I mean that's interesting in itself, because it's certainly not 18th century.
No.
Well, there's no artifacts to suggest it, and you almost always find pottery or glass or something from these 18th century buildings. So it would suggest it's earlier, which is interesting. Indeed.
Yep.
We've got this great little building. It's this lovely little thing with a curved north end. Wall formed of these big upright stones. And again, same story here. We've got all this rubble inside in this big thick deposit of dark brown sand. And again, that's the walls have collapsed. And the turf part of the wall is collapsed and decayed around the stones. So we're coming down onto a floor deposit in there.
Again, it's quite dark there in the in that corner. It seems to be quite a depth of turf as well. Oh, the turf, a lot of soil.
Which really does surprise me that they've either midden the soil, just for cultivation, or we wouldn't really expect it just here though, or there's been stock grazing. I mean, down below, the lower part of the stack just to our right, on the east side, is a lovely kind of fairly flat terrace, which would have been good for keeping stock on, or even cultivation maybe, although I think you get a lot of sea spray.
Very close to the sea when you're here. But then again, on a site like this, the prevailing wind is southwesterly, so this is sheltered. Even from the sea, you're not going to get a huge amount of sea spray coming onto this site, because the easterly storms tend to be winter, early spring, as opposed to during the growing season.
Certainly is a beautiful spot.
Absolutely. Okay, what are we looking at here?
Well, we've got a good bit of the floor area exposed inside the building. That's one wall, the big triangular pink stone there. You can see the wall running off to the northish. And then the other wall's here, quite well built. A few courses you can see there. And then this big hump of bedrock in the middle. And it looks like what they've done is they've laid kind of rough cobbling over the floor around the bedrock to sort of level it up and firm it up.
Yes.
That white stuff you can see poking through is actually the natural subsoil.
Right.
So there's a little bit of, it's a bit kind of black and grey where there's remains of occupation pressed into it, and they've pressed the cobbles right down into that as well, and the occupation deposits have built up around it.
Yes.
So it's making a bit more sense now as a floor. Which is
it does. It seems more obvious as a floor now, as a cobbled floor. Yeah. Yep. What's this black in the corner that you're working on here? Is that anything significant? The darker soil?
Well, I'm just exposing it and just trying to work out whether it's part of this occupation deposit or it's something separate. I should find out pretty soon.
Good.
What we are finding here is lots and lots of fire-cracked pebbles. Some of them are the cobbles themselves that are pressed down into the floor, but some of them have been lying above the floor, and they're pebbles that have probably been heated in a fire and then put into water or liquid to heat it up.
Right.
So they've been used in cooking.
Yep.
Just stacks and stacks of them. So it's definitely been some sort of, I would say, domestic occupation here.
Yeah. Okay. Has the wall collapsed towards where he's working, or?
That's what we're trying to figure out. We thought that was a little additional cell or room where he is, so that's why we decided to take that side of the stones out. Yeah. What we thought would be the inside of the room. However, it's not looking terribly coherent as an inner wall face. It's possible. It's really difficult to say one way or the other. Yeah. But it's got a really deep charcoal-rich black occupation deposit inside. So there's definitely, and it goes down quite a way. What, about 40 centimeters or so? Is it the whole, from the top of the wall down?
Yeah. Right.